You know what, Kobe?
What's that, Barry?
Bitches, man. I like that actor so much.
And somebody will get this movie off of that quote, too.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
The music.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the second week of monster romance.
Right. A monster stole my heart. I don't know. Like,
what's a clever day for this? Who knows?
Right, and we don't want to call it Beauty and the Beast because that's just cliche.
Yeah. But today we're gonna be talking about 2013's Warm Bodies.
Right. I was super excited. Like when this movie, I was actually at San Diego Comic-Con and I was at the panel that introduced this movie. Like this is coming out next year, and I was super excited about it. And Hall H, you guys know, the in crowd knows.
Hall H.
And then I didn't see it when it came out, and then I just never ended up seeing it. So I was super excited when you suggested this. I was like, oh, I remember wanting to see that.
Well, I think, man, 2013, I was probably like, the first year you opened up the store again? Or like...
Yes.
Right, year, like 2012 you opened it up.
Right, yeah.
And then this was pretty much like the 1 year.
Yeah.
So you're busy, you're like, oh, if it's not on the Sci-Fi Channel, I can't take my time.
That's right. You know what? Yeah, because I went with my buddy Eddie.
Yeah.
And it was the first year that we slept outside waiting for Hall H. I think it was like a 12-hour wait to get in.
Oh my God.
Because Hall H is also in the Marvel panel.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
It was 12-hour wait. We were in line, sleeping on the sidewalk out by the pier behind this convention center, and we were actually far enough out that we weren't sure that we were going to get in.
Oh, dang.
There was that many people in line.
Well, like what, 2012? Man, I think Avengers just came out or something?
Yeah, it was just hot on the...
Yeah. Marvel was that was peak Marvel.
Yep.
I mean, not saying that Marvel hasn't fallen off, yeah.
I believe that was the year that, was it the guy from Breaking Bad came in the Breaking Bad outfit and then shopped the convention and no one stopped him because they just didn't know it was Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston, freaking Zordon. Oh, man. All right. So I forgot to write the trailer for this, so we're gonna freeball it today. What makes kidnapping a girl hoping she'd fall in love with you okay if you do it as a zombie? This movie starring Nicholas Holt from Skins and Teresa Palmer, who was number 6 and I am number 4. Today we're talking about... This has been a while since I've had to do it like that. When a zombie first falls in love. We're talking about 2013's Warm Bodies.
Falls in love with John Malkovich's daughter.
Oh, man. John Malkovich will forever always be just menacing.
Oh, right.
It's always hard to see him play anything but a good decent person.
Right, because even when he's a good decent person, you're like, he's gonna turn.
No matter what, John Malkovich is gonna betray you somehow. Throughout this whole movie, I was waiting for the reveal that he was the one that's orchestrated Dave Franco's dad's death, just so he can join the militia. He was like, we need young-blooded Americans like you on the militia team.
Yep.
I don't know what it is about John Malkovich, but it definitely there's something wrong enough with him for me that I never had an inkling to watch being John Malkovich.
I remember seeing that like when it first came out, not in like theater, but I think probably like when it first came out, it was probably on VHS that long ago.
That movie's old.
It is, yeah.
But I think that's also during a time where John Malkovich was more of like a skinny Bill Nye body type.
Right. Yes.
Like in this one, he's got that old man gruff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He seems like he could be like the kick your ass general.
Right, yeah. Not like back in the early 2000s, late 90s, where he was like, that's a fucking nerd.
Right, yeah. Yeah, he could have played like
Mad
Jeff
science.
Bezos in the Amazon movie.
Oh, man, that would have been... that would have been amazing because it fits, right? No, but yeah, let's talk about it. But let's talk about what this movie is about. The plot is pretty bare minimum.
It is,
right?
Yeah,
I think we cover a lot of it in the trailer breakdown of. I didn't know that this was a young adult novel though.
Oh, that makes sense,
right? I think I saw that in one of the reviews that I chose for our segment later, high star, low star. But apparently that this was a adult novel, and then this also came out during the height of like zombie movies,
right?
Or just zombie shit in general.
Yeah, and then like every review I looked at compared this to Twilight. So it must have also come out around that time.
You know what though? Like I can see the comparison happening. Less creepy in this movie when he's just constantly watching her and he's like, ugh. And he's giving out one word answers like, yeah. I would much rather have that than this eternal 17-year-old like
sparkly vampire.
Yeah. Oh, you're my.
It's not even that he was a vampire. Not even that he could like. The sparkly thing was what was like. What?
You're my own personal brand of heroin. It's like what? I watched the Twilight movie just so I can get laid. Like, and the whole time I was like, this movie is horseshit. Like, but then again, like I could see like how fucking 50 Shades of Grey came out of that.
Right. Yep.
But no, like when this movie came out, it was pretty much just like, it was riding the zombie wave.
Yeah.
Walking Dead and all that stuff. But it at least had a little bit of heart to it, I guess. I don't know. So we start this movie.
Pun off this movie.
Oh yeah. So we start this movie with Nicholas Holt. He's self-narrating the whole movie, right?
Right.
Yep. For the most part, he's like, "Oh man, today sucks." I don't. But like like when you have the open narration, you think, "Oh, we're in this," But before you even know, like, if you didn't watch the trailer for this, you think he's a human living in the zombie apocalypse. But then, as soon as it starts panning up, you're like, "Oh, no, it's a fucking zombie."
Yes. Yeah.
But he's like, man, every day is so tedious. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a metaphor on like a low class low wage worker. Like, every day is the same, man. I'm not really living my life. But like we go through his daily routine. He's like, oh, we walk so slow. The guy from Hot Tub Time Machine's my best friend.
And every once in a while, we almost say a word to each other.
You're like, okay. Which is already like, it's funny because he has like a consciousness.
Right.
Right? So like but this whatever, because we never get an explanation on how this zombie outbreak starts out.
No, movie starts 8 years into the outbreak.
Yeah. And, I'm kind of glad because I was like, oh, dude, how many origin stories do we need to know, right?
Right.
There's already plenty of zombie movies out there. 28 Days Later, Shaun of the Dead.
Right, yeah, you take any of them. This is 8 years after those.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, right? And so, like, it's cool. And, like, they're like hungry. And so they start to go hunt out for food. You do notice some, what is it called? Some of the rules of this universe. Like, it seems like these zombies can see, but they use more of their smell.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Which is like, you see that too, like in like what, Walking Dead. They do the little, wear the meat suit.
Yep.
So this is what happens in this movie too. But during this time, Teresa Palmer, Dave Franco are like they're like in the human camp, and they're meeting with John Malkovich, and they're like, oh, we have to go run some supply. We got to do a supply run for some medical stuff.
Right. Yep.
Which I was like,
yeah, because they're in the center of the city, and there's a giant wall separating them from the suburbs, I guess. I don't know, like
right.
the inner city versus the outer city.
Right, which is like, I don't know if this is supposed to be like another metaphor for class systems.
I didn't put that together till you said that, and all of a sudden, it all just like, this whole class system thing just floods in. And I'm like, oh, man.
Right. Right, like maybe I'm reaching, but who knows, but yeah, like, because when I saw that wall, I was like, that's fucking ridiculous, like how big that wall is right now. In The Walking Dead, they could barely do a neighborhood.
Right, yeah. This architecture team could teach The Walking Dead how to build a wall.
Right. This one
Negan's not getting through this one.
This one puts the Great Wall of China, like, because they were like, these guys are doing it under the pressure of a zombie attack happening at any moment.
Right.
And building that wall must have made a lot of noise, right? But so they have to go do a supply run. So this is where our two main characters converge, right? Because as they're doing the supply run in this medical facility, Nicholas Holt and his like zombie group, they smell them.
Yeah.
And so we get the insinuating fight happening. It's pretty much Nicholas Holt versus Dave Franco, but only after Nicholas Holt gets a gander at Teresa Palmer. And it
sparks something.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets bricked up. That's No, you know what? I do gotta say though that this movie does have a very underrated soundtrack.
Oh right. I was thinking that like a lot of the parts are driven by the song choice.
Yeah,
like, and it helps you feel what they want you to feel.
Yeah, and then I think this movie came out the same year that the Guardians of the Galaxy came out. Because it's a lot of retro songs.
Maybe.
In this one, and so I don't know which one came out first, but yeah, super great soundtrack. I did love it. Nicholas Holt, you see later in his private fucking carrier, he has like vinyls and a record player. I was like, how is that getting powered? It's like, are you telling me the zombie is smart enough to set up a battery, like what's it called, a generator in his fucking? But no, so yeah, so he sees Teresa Palmer. Something gets sparked in it because it's like romance slow-mo.
Yeah.
But then Dave Franco's trying to shoot him in the head, so he fucks Dave Franco up.
Yep.
So he bites him, and there's little sprinkles of comedy left in here because as he's biting him, he's like, "Oh, nice watch,"
and he's like, "I'm ashamed that I do this. Don't watch."
Yeah. Yeah. But he's like, "But I'm so hungry."
Yeah.
And then this is like, I think this is like one of the more interesting tidbits of the zombie movies. Like, we could eat, because he has like some sympathy for this, right? He's like, if I don't eat his brain, he's just gonna come back like one of us.
Yeah.
So I gotta eat the brain.
Right. But then they kind of come in with this interesting twist. He's like, if I eat his brain, I get flashes of his memories.
Right. And it almost seems like it's a drug to zombies. Because obviously the brain isn't the most meatiest like part of the human. It's like the ass.
But also, if you're a zombie and you basically you just work on instinct, I mean, like I could see that being a drug. You take it and you actually get to feel and have a memory and something, even if it's fleeting. That's
Yeah, which is cool. So like. But what's it called? Like all the craziness is still happening. Teresa Palmer, she's pretty badass.
Yeah, she is.
She's holding her own, but she starts to look for Perry. That's his name. I was like, oh, not Barry, Perry. And she ends up saving that one girl from Crazy Stupid Love. But Nicholas Holt comes up, because Perry has memories of Teresa Palmer. They've been together.
Right.
Or they were together, right? So he's like, oh man, I need to take this to go. He scoops out the rest of his brains and
just shoves it in his pocket.
Right.
He Napoleon Dynamite's the tater tot brain.
Pocket brain. Also sounds like a fucking sex toy. But then he gets real close, very this is where the similarities between Twilight comes in, because when he gets closer, she's scared, but he's like, huh, huh. Also kind of reminded me of Encino Man when he first sees a girl.
Oh, yes.
But to save her though, because Hot Tub Time Machine starts sniffing in the air, he's like, he takes some of the goo that's coming out of him after he got stabbed by Teresa Palmer and wipes it on her face.
Right.
And then he is like, come, safe. And Teresa Palmer is whisked away.
Yeah.
By Nicholas Holt into his helicarrier.
Yeah, and it's basically she has to kind of tag along with this roaming pack of zombies as they head back to the airport, which is
it's just a really weird hangout place. Yeah, right? Yeah. I was I thought it would have been really awesome, honestly, if it was in a mall. Because then we could be like, oh, that's a Dawn of the Dead reference.
Right. Yeah.
But no, it's he takes her to his airport carrier thing. We do see throughout the airport, we do get introduced to what they call bones, what the other zombies or corpses call the other more decayed corpses.
Yeah, it's once you've decayed and as a zombie you've decayed enough, your skin basically falls off and you're just a rage machine.
Yeah, I call those year one zombies.
Yeah. Right?
But so a good chunk of this movie mainly takes place with them hanging out at the airport together. After Teresa Palmer does try to escape, she can't because there's too many zombies around. Nicholas Holt, he's beginning to talk a little bit more. He's like, stay here a few days.
Right. And it's almost like he has to. He's trying hard to communicate, and so this it's she's a foreign student, and he's slowly learning Spanish to speak to her or whatever,
Yeah, and obviously, I was like, is this movie gonna be about a fucking Stockholm syndrome situation? I think it kind of is
a little.
Yeah. But
he's cute.
Yeah, Nicholas Holt, fucking Beast is a good looking guy.
Holy crap, that is Beast! Yeah. I didn't look it up, and I was totally in my head. I was like, I know this guy from something, but I couldn't figure out.
It's Beast from the First Class stuff.
Yep, young Beast.
Yeah, freaking Hank McCoy. But, we get a good chunk of, them building this romance together, right? She's, they're playing music, she's dancing, she's, very cute. She's very endearing throughout this whole situation.
It's kind of easy for him to not make her stay, but to convince her to stay for a little while, because he's like, it's not safe. And she can look out the airplane window and see, zombies kind of roaming around.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely I'm not holding you prisoner. I'm just trying to protect you, kind of,
from everything there. I mean, it's still very Asaka, but then he does say he's give it a few days, they'll forget about you, and then I can sneak you back out.
Yeah,
but still, but then for him too, this is important for him because he's sort of gaining something from this, maybe the ability or something, right? Because the more brains that he eats of Dave Franco, the more vocabulary he begins to get back.
Right.
But then one day, you know, they're dancing in the plane and all that stuff. And Hot Tub Time Machine looks up at his room and he's like, too much fun. Food in there. But yeah, because one day, like, you know, he does have a bad trip. He finally gets to the tail end of the brain, and it's the moment that Dave Franco sees himself getting eaten by Nicholas Holt.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he freaks out. This is probably the first time he gets more like closer to human like, because he throws it up and all that stuff.
Right.
And like, you know, he's disgusted with himself because he sees himself as the monster.
Yeah, yeah.
But then he wakes up, or he doesn't go to sleep, but he has a bad trip, and Teresa Palmer's gone.
Right.
Right?
But so in there he one night when she goes to bed, because he doesn't sleep, he's a zombie, but he like sits down and closes his eyes, and he actually has a dream. And it's the first time he's had a dream since he's become a zombie.
No, that's later. That's after.
Is that after?
Yeah, so yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine grabs Teresa Palmer and they're like circling her like a pack of hyenas, right? But then like Nicholas Holt beats everybody up, and Hot Tub Time Machine is like, food, eat. And then one of the bones start to chase him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Hot Tub Time Machine helps them out though, and then he's like, "Want help her, like her," and yeah, and they end up being able to escape. But then, before they get to the car, you know, they hold hands, and all the corpses are like, "Oh," and some seeing that is also able to help them spark something
right
inside, because like early on we do see like, what's it called, like when I forgot the exact moment that it happens, but Nicholas Holt's heart starts beating.
Yeah, like, it sounds dumb, like dumb comparison, but it's like the zombies, you know, they're like farmers and they're, you know, eating cows, but as soon as like he holds her hand, that's like giving that baby cow a name. Now you can't kill like little Spot and eat it, you know. That's,
or you know, someone's like, it only makes it more delicious. But no, but then like, you know, so as they're, you know, they're driving away, they get caught up in the rain because they have a convertible. But the top doesn't happen. Hot Tub Time Machine looks at one of the ads and he sees like a couple like holding hands, and it sparks a memory in him where he's with like some Asian chick. And like other corpses start to gather around too. And he like looks over at another one. He's like, "Do you feel?"
Yep.
And you know, he's like, "Cha." But this is where it happens, where like Teresa Palmer's like, I have to stop somewhere. So they go to like one of the last neighborhoods her community was able to evacuate. Mm-hmm. And you know, they're like laying down. She's like, you know, she tells R like, "Hey, you can come sleep with me on the floor."
Right, because she calls him R because he remembers his name starts with R, but he can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
And so she goes through a couple names, and he's like, and so she's like, "I'm just gonna call you R."
Yeah. And you know, she kind of like spills her heart after she gets naked. Well, not fully naked, but she's like, "I gotta let my clothes dry off."
Right, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh." But you know, she spills it all out. You know, she says all these things, and this is where he confirms what she might have been suspicious of the whole time, because that's what she says, right? She's like, I wanted to believe you didn't do it."
Right.
You know, because like, you know, over the couple of days that they were together, they kind of formed like some sort of relationship.
Yeah.
Right. But he's like, "I did it. I ate Perry. And I was like, man, how do you retain any type of feelings for the guy who ate your past boyfriend?
Perry was a little bit of a douche at the end, so
Yeah, Perry, like we do see, like as Art eats his brain matter and all that stuff, that Perry goes through a trauma because, you know, like they've known each other for the longest time. They hooked up in high school. They're each other's first loves. Perry was in agriculture. John Malkovich is like, oh, you should work on the wall like your dad.
yep.
And then we find out, like, you know, Teresa Palmer takes him through this special little exit to go fucking look for her dad and shit. And then he just ends up being a zombie.
Right.
And Teresa Palmer had to kill him. And so after that, he ends up going to the militia and just having this same undying hatred for corpses like John Malkovich did. Right. There's a lot of grief, you know? But so, like, you know, that's where R has a dream.
Yeah.
He actually falls asleep.
That's right.
Yeah, he falls asleep. They're like in this field. Teresa Palmer, Dave Franco, and Crazy Stupid Love Girl are there. And he but like it's pretty like nice dream. He's like, yeah, you can be whatever you want. And then he wakes up and he's like, did I just dream? But you know, Teresa Palmer had already left him. You know, like what are you supposed to do, right? You're like, you can't exactly bring this guy home.
Right.
Your dad is a friggin' zombie killing machine.
Yeah.
And you know, you find out that he killed your first love.
Right. So yeah. So she's a little traumatized by that, but then it's also, yeah, she's like, if I bring him home, then Dad's just gonna kill him.
Yeah, so the you know, I think this is probably the cleanest break that you could make. R, you know, accepts it. He knows because he fucked. You know, he didn't fuck up. You know, he right. just did what his
instinct made him
do. You know, so he's like, I'll just go back home. I'll try to forget her. But while that happened, Hot Tub Time Machine gets intimidated by the bones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very reminiscent of like when in like I Am Legend when the guy screamed in Will Smith's face.
Right. Yeah, because you're starting to get they don't really say, but it's kind of like when the zombies feel an intense emotion, it actually makes their heart beat once or twice.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden, like, the bones are like, did your heart beat? Should I eat you? Or are you still a zombie? I'm not sure.
You still smell like a zombie.
But I'm going to sweat you a little bit.
Right. But, yeah, so Hot Tub Time Machine comes over and he's like, Bones, looking for you and Teresa. So R is like, oh, no, I gotta go find her. He's able to sneak into the compound because of the memories.
Right. Yes, because he can backtrack because when they snuck out, he can backtrack in.
Yeah. And while that's happening, Teresa Palmer is telling the other girl, like, is it crazy that I miss him? Like, I don't know, you know? But you know, they end up meeting back up together again. They do this Pretty Woman montage. Because they want to prove to the dad that the corpses are changing back.
Right.
And R is there to warn them that the bones are coming.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go too well. And so, what's it called? The girl, her best friend, helps R and Teresa Palmer escape.
Yeah.
And so we end up in this huge, like, commotion, right? More corpses have gathered to help R and Teresa Palmer fight off the bones, and the bones are just like all culminating in this city, and there's like this like huge battle.
Yeah.
Right? John Malkovich is like, we don't have enough humans to destroy or to defend ourselves, and so as all the fighting happens, the zombie or the corpses are able to prove themselves capable of not hurting a human.
Right.
As they continuously start to save these other soldiers from the bones.
Yep.
And John Malkovich is like, what? Oh my God. He's like...
He's not a believer.
Yeah.
But a lot of the militia get saved. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I won't shoot you in the head right now.
Yeah, one even takes the hand of a zombie that saved them and fucking hot tub time machine, like, well, the soldier's like, I don't know who to shoot, and the hot tub time machine chooses, like, chucks one at him, like, this asshole. Oh, and yeah, it's crazy, right? And then Teresa Palmer and R are still running around because the bones are they're after them,
Right. Yep.
because they're noticing that they're sparking a change in all the other corpses. But then they get caught at the top of this stadium, and somehow they're at the top floor, and there's a stadium on the top floor. I'm not gonna pretend like I understand the logistics of this building. This building it's an anomaly. But they look down and they're like, this is it, R, like, there's nowhere else for us to go. And he's like, don't worry, safe. And he chucks himself off. There's like this pool at the bottom, and he's like holding her. He's still a zombie at this point, so he's still pretty indestructible as far as like physical damage goes.
Right. Yeah.
But when they land to the water, he hits the bottom pretty hard, and Teresa Palmer saves him. He's like, "Oh my God, breathe, breathe." He wakes up, and then they make out, which I was like, "Oh, that has to be disgusting." Like,
he hasn't brushed his teeth in 8 years.
It's like that guy's mouth is like a garbage disposal at this point. But yeah, I guess you're just hoping that during the makeover they brushed his teeth as well. You're like, hold on, now we gotta brush these bad boys. And
but while they're kissing, you could see his eye change.
yeah, his eyes change back to his human color. Yep. But it gets disrupted with John Malkovich shooting him in the chest. and he becomes a believer when he starts to see him bleed red.
Yes. He's like, zombies don't bleed. People bleed.
And so he radios in. This is Colonel Giorno. I was like, very lazy. I think the writer was just eating some DiGiorno. And oh yeah, Giorno. Yeah, it's fucking Italian. Yeah. And yeah, they wrap this movie up pretty nicely. They're like, the corpses sided with the humans, and after they band together, the bones didn't have a chance.
Yep.
The bones that weren't in the city ended up just dying out anyway. They got starved out. And these corpses started to reacclimate to the human society.
Right, yeah.
Of course, like, their conversion depended on, it was very dependent on each person.
Yeah.
Right? Because, for R, he got to fall in love, and that kind of helped it go a little bit faster. Others are like, they're like,
hop to time machines just hitting on girls.
Oh yeah, he was like, you're really pretty. He's like, you're supposed to say I'm pretty back. I think there's a guy playing, what's it called, catch with his brother.
Yeah.
There's kids playing hide and seek with each other. I was like, listen, like, no, I think the hide and seek with the kids should be monitored, just in case,
Just in case.
But yeah, like, everyone's reacclimating back. They knocked down the wall. I was like, that's a little too preemptive. Like, how about we keep it up for now? You never know, the East Coast zombies might come, and
right, yeah.
It's colder there, so they have harsher winters. It might have slowed down their progression.
They
right?
don't fall in love as easy, so they.
It's a cold heart on the. It's very cold on the East Coast. Love is hard to come by. But and then ours, like, Teresa Palmer and R, just like overlooking the city, and they're like, do you want to know who you were before? And he's like, he's like, no, this is me now.
Right. I'm R.
I was like, in my mind, I was like, if they have kids, is that kid going to be like half zombie, half human? Or is he back? Is he 100% human? I want to know the logistics of how this relationship is going to work. Like, what's his diet now? Is he just eating regular food now?
So we have to read the book series. That would be like the second novel.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I gotta read. Oh man, that's a lot to ask. Is it like maybe there's a comic book form I could go through?
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie ends right there. It's a pretty good. It's a good movie.
It was.
This is fun. Before we talk about this movie a little bit more, let's go to our high star, low star rating. Let's go with our high star first.
As a review from Crazy Taxi, 5 out of 5. A surprisingly enjoyable zombie flick. Honestly, zombie and romantic comedy aren't two genres that I thought would go well together, but this movie makes it work. I like zombie movies, and I like the occasional rom-com. There's some humor in here, and the romance feels like another riff on Romeo and Juliet, but where this movie really shines, it manages to make zombies feel like the victims when many other zombie movies focus on making them the faceless monster. It's a very different take, and unlike most zombie films, it has a real touch of hope rather than the cliche hero riding off into the doomed world like most Romero zombie films. It's a nice change of pace from standard downer zombie apocalypse fare. Check it out if you'd like zombie movies, but it can also accept some silliness just south of Shaun of the Dead. Caveat: the only rom-coms I ever rewatched without my wife are Something About Mary and The Wedding Singer. So make of that what you will when judging my takes on rom-coms.
Yeah, fucking amazing taste. We have this is the lowest star I could find. Because, okay, so we have a 3-star one, but mainly because, like, the 1-star and the 2 stars were more just, like, issues with the code for the DVD or the Blu-ray.
Okay, so, like, more technical.
Yeah, like, more technical stuff for, like, the DVD stuff, not more about the movie. So I was like, oh, that's a first. So we have 3 stars from Good Egg, a rare case where the book matches up pretty closely with the film inspired by it. I thought the book was A-okay, and likewise felt the movie fell right into place under that rating as well. It's a star vehicle for towering Nicholas Holt, who is far more sexier than a zombie should be. I was like, Jesus Christ. In this case, I thought the ending didn't quite befit the writing that preceded it, which is a shame because it was original until it turned into a romance story. I think it was meant to be profound, but I couldn't summarize what it was trying to say. Since there are no such things as zombies, it would be reaching to say it was a tale providing hope for lonely zombies in the world. Far better to wade through the passage instead if you want zombie apocalyptic wisdom or a just cheap aha moment. This is fair.
Right.
It's fair. I mean, she's obviously a fan of the book, so yeah, she's a purist. She's was not pure to the source material. But
as comic fans, we can understand that.
Oh, yeah. But you know, the difference between like I think us and like other like so-called comic book fans is that we understand some things aren't able to translate into different medias.
Right. As I've grown, I've gotten much more okay with that. I remember, though, definitely early younger me seeing some movies and been like, that's not what Wolverine looks like. Why is Wolverine so tall? You know.
Wolverine's a stubby guy. Which is fair, you know? Like, I think one of the things for me has always been, like, I looked at, like, media adaptations for anything that's pulled from a, you know, book or a comic book as just like another what if type of situation, right? Where it's like this is just another rendition of this character. I'm for it, you know. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't, which is why we won't ever get a Han Solo 2.
Oh, so sad. I love that movie.
All right. Question for you, Kobe, because you know you're from this generation, right? Who's more toxic? Star Wars fans or Star Trek fans?
I feel like Star Wars fans.
Right?
Because after the first three, it seemed like till the Mandalorian, it seemed like they crapped on everything that was Star Wars spin-off.
All right.
Where Star Trek fans are like, I like the original, but Deep Space Nine was good. Next Generation was good. You know, maybe Voyager didn't need so much Neelix. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
there was like pockets of fandoms for every installment.
Right, and it was kind of like maybe this one isn't my taste, but I'm glad that they made that they're keeping the franchise alive. Where Star Wars is like, oh my god, Anakin is so stupid. How did they make him do this? And yeah,
because one of the things, sorry we're going off topic, but it's just always just one of those rants, right? Is George Lucas has already acknowledged the fact he's like not great at dialogue. All right, you could even look like, listen, as much as we love the original trilogy, when you revisit it, it's very romanticized in its masterpiece-ness, right?
Right.
Because the dialogue is kind of shitty. Yeah, but then for this one, I guess it's not a well-known book because I didn't know this was a book until this.
Right, I didn't until you told me.
Yeah. So so I think this is fair. I don't think the studio was like, oh yeah, we're gonna make this into a trilogy. It's gonna be the new Hunger Games, right?
Right. I feel like this would have been hard to stretch into more movies,
right? Because even with what's that one movie with Shaylee Hannon or whatever, the Divergent series, right? That was like a full blown series, and they couldn't even continue.
And it's funny. Earlier you said that the girl was number 6 from I Am 4.
Yeah,
I loved that movie, and I felt that movie could have definitely, spawned a sequel or two.
Yeah, I think the second one was supposed to be with her, I Am Number 6. And I was like, oh, that'll be way more interesting than I Am Number 4. That guy sucks. Because when we get introduced to Teresa Palmer in that series, she already knows her powers.
Right.
She's strong. She's fast. Talk about a great female empowered character.
Right.
Because she's saving his ass all the time.
It's almost like they weren't quite ready for a female lead, in that kind of part. So they were I don't know if we can do this.
She was too cool, that's why. And it's funny because I used to get her and Kristen Stewart mixed up. And I
could see that.
Right? Yeah, but I was like, oh no, this girl's way better at emoting her facial expressions.
Right. Yeah. So, especially the beginning of this movie, I was just I heard all the Twilight comments, and I could see that even picked an actress that kind of looks the same.
Right.
But yeah, then by later on, I was like, oh, she is so much better.
Yeah, because she's able to just her face acting is so much better because she does have the scowl when she's fighting at the beginning where it's very evident that she looks like Kristen Stewart, but then when she's crying, she looks scared. You feel her you feel terrified for her in that situation. Or when she first grabs the can of fruit, she's like, yes.
Where in the Kristen Stewart in the Twilight movies, the entire series, you're just stop moping. You have the 2 hottest guys in the state are fighting over you, and you're just gonna be depresso girl.
She's scowling like she's fucking Batman. I gotta get revenge from my parents. I'm sorry. Another fun little tangent for you, Kobe. I don't know if you see this. There's this podcast of these Mexican guys, and they're like, "Bro, tell me Batman isn't Mexican." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Dude, the way that he's so passionate about his parents dying is straight from a novella." And they're like, all of his villains sound like gang members. You got El Joker, Riddler, El Penguino. But yeah. Yeah, the difference between Teresa Palmer and Kristen Stewart, as far as like actress, like I'm not saying that Kristen Stewart is a terrible actress, but I don't ever feel the need to watch her movies. Like, you know, and she's like in some great ones. Like I think Personal Shopper won like an award or something like that. Or I don't know if it's like a lesbian flick or something like that, but like it apparently was a really good movie. But I think just something about like the way she furrows her eyebrow muscles all the time, she always looks constipated. And Teresa Palmer can definitely do that face too, but you know, in other movies that I've seen her in, like I think she was like in Take Me Home Tonight with Topher Grace, I Am Number 6, and this one, the way that she's able to emote her face, like make you feel like like a freaking regular actress can.
Right.
She's so good in here. And, you know, and John Malkovich, obviously, you hate the guy, but he's a good actor.
Right.
But I was just like, man, I never want to be a waiter to that guy. I feel like he'd not tip me.
Right. Like, yeah. If you met him in real life, I feel like everything you did would be like
Wrong.
He would be Gordon Ramsay on like Hell Chef, you know,
The whole time.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Nicholas Holt in this role. You know, like it's funny because I came into knowing Nicholas Holt because of Skins, which is a British TV show, very much like Degrassi was for Canada.
Oh, okay.
But Skins was more like kind of like adult themed because it showed a little bit more realism that like these kids were doing drugs, they were getting high all the time, they were having sex, like everything that freaking teenagers shouldn't be doing, they were doing,
right?
And it showed it. And you know, and his character was like the sociopath, very manipulative and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, he's a pretty good actor. And then he started breaking out into America, not so much recently, right?
Yeah, I'm like you said, I'm only. He looked familiar, and I couldn't place it, and it wasn't until you said he was Beast that I was like it clicked. But I'm not really sure if I've seen him in. Really.
Oh, like he's in that show The Great on Hulu, and he's in oh yeah, he was in Fury Road. He was like one of those weird characters.
But with the shaved head.
Yeah, with the shaved head.
The yes.
Oh yeah, and he was like in Tolkien about J.R. Tolkien, the Hobbit guy.
So I never saw that.
Yeah. Obviously, okay. So he's in
he's been in quite a few things
here and there. He was even in the Hugh Grant movie about a boy. So yeah, I'm glad. I think he's a pretty strong actor, especially for this type of movie where all of your acting is coming from your like emoting in your face. Because you know when you have very few lines.
Right, and you have to emote, but with a zombie face that is like pretty stiff. Yeah, that's impressive.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of his lines are like, yeah, safe, not safe. But he's like furrowing his eyebrows at the right places. he's showing faces of concern, interest, horniness.
Right. So one of I didn't put this together. I wish I was as smart as this. But the girl's name is Julie and his name is R.
Yeah.
And then they have a balcony scene where he comes out of the bushes. Oh. And it's like, is R stand for Romeo and Julie stand for Juliet?
Oh, so that's okay. So I could see the comparison for Romeo. Oh man, now I'm mad I didn't see that.
I like as soon as they said it, I was like, oh, slap my forehead.
Right? Oh. Now I feel like I don't pay enough attention to stuff. That's a great comparison. Yeah, like it's it's like you get a lot of themes in this movie that's very reminiscent of a lot of other movies where like it can kind of go bad doing like themes like that, but this one it feels so organic. Mm-hmm. That you don't even notice it. You're just like you're noticing you're watching this monster love story, and it just blows past you. You're like, it's a great movie. It's a great time. All right, and one of the best things about this is that like the little sprinkles of comedy that they put into it it doesn't feel like forced.
Right.
Right. We have the scene where Teresa Palmer is trying to teach Nicholas Holt how to drive. And it's a nice little callback to like when you first teach somebody how to drive for the first time.
Yep.
They're like, I got to use both of my feet, right? Man, how do people's feet not get tired driving all the time? Like, it's not. Especially when it's like a freaking an automatic or like a manual.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so that's great. I love the relationship between Nicholas Holt and Hot Tub Time Machine guy.
I can never remember his name, and he's always like just small parts. But I really enjoy I always feel like everything he's in is
He's solid.
He's
like a solid. Oh, freaking Rob Corddry. There you go. Freaking Children's Hospital. The guy in the clown makeup. Yeah, he's amazing because he has such great comedic timing, and it kind of reminds me of like old like if he was born during a time of like Martin Short and those guys,
right?
He definitely would have fit into that like group, like Chevy Chase.
Yep.
Like who's the other guy? Martin Short, Chevy Chase. Who's in the Three Amigos?
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin, yeah. Definitely he has that sort of feel in his comedy.
Right, yeah.
Because, he's even great like in other things like Hot Tub Time Machine, friggin' Children's Hospital, which is kind of like a weird movie to watch. But, like Harold and Kumar, Hell Baby. He's in so many like freaking Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell, Rapture Palooza, which I think we have to put in another Doomsday movie month.
Yeah.
Freaking Blades of Glory.
I feel like we should.
Yeah, he's super fun, and like so him and Nicholas Holt's relationship is hilarious to me. Any other parts that you liked about the movie, Kobe?
There was a lot of like little subtle things, like when they're in the airport and she's trying to sneak out and he comes and finds her.
Yeah.
And then he's like, act dead. And she starts like, and he's like, too much.
That was a great scene for her too. It was so cute.
And then the group of zombies that they are trying to walk past all look like the cast of Walking Dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like when I saw that scene, like the way she did it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah,
that was like, oh, I was like, you develop a crush. Yes. Oh yeah, because like what else is she in? Let's check her out. Let's check her discography out. Oh, see, I knew she looked familiar. She's like on a show called A Discovery of Witches, which I'm kind of want to watch just because it's on like I always see it every time I open up my freaking Roku.
Okay.
Oh, it's a little it's a movie across time.
Interesting.
But she's like from New Zealand and all that stuff. So, she was in Hacksaw Ridge, Lights Out, Iron Number 4, Point Break. So yeah, she was also in Fury Road.
Okay.
She's probably like one of the brides. I know she was in Grudge too. She was one of the schoolgirls. So, okay, see? Definitely check her out a little bit more. Oh, man. We are coming up to our hour. Thank you guys for joining us if this is the first time. Just to let you know how we rate our movies. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and Ultimate Box Collection, which if you guys haven't... If this is the first time you guys joining us, we've started doing the Ultimate Month Box Collection.
Right. Which,
if we had enough fans, we could put that together for you guys as a Patreon.
So could do that.
Right? But Colby, where are you at for this movie?
I definitely Blu-ray this. This movie was fantastic. I am now upset at myself for not watching it when it came out. Like I definitely should have brought a date to a movie theater to see this.
Yeah, definitely. I think this one could like definitely warrant a Blu-ray, especially because it's a book. Maybe there's like a couple of like sections in the Blu-ray, or like with the author and the screenplay talking about the differences on why the book was different, like the movie had to veer off from the book. Obviously, I think it's because, this is going to be a one and done type of situation, and they wanted to wrap it up nicely. They didn't have the luxury of time like a book has.
Right.
And well, like we get to see like cast interviews and all that stuff. I think the makeup effects were like well done, except for the bones. It's kind of hard to I don't know if there's a lot of people with that type of.
Right. Yeah, they were pretty CGI'd, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, because they're like bones pretty much. They're like skeletons with a little bit of flesh still on there and like raisin skin. Yeah, who's that one? There's that one guy who always plays like those really skinny monsters. I think it's because he has like some sort of like disease or something. But you know what I'm talking about though, right? He's always the monsters like in a lot of the things that we watch. Like he was the Bye Bye Man.
Okay, and because he's he's weirdly double jointed, so he can realistically make some of those weird arm movements and stuff too.
And he's so skinny.
Yeah.
So they're like, what are you gonna do? Green screen that guy and the whole thing, like Spawn when he was having his fight with the Hell Lord.
Oh,
that was just one Spawn guy. Oh. That's a movie that did not age well. I mean, for the most part, Spawn is still good,
except for that
the last part,
5-minute, 8-minute scene.
Yeah, the
rest of the movies did all right.
Yeah, that last 8-minute scene in that movie definitely dates that movie back. Oh man, but definitely yeah. So thank you guys for joining us. We always enjoy making these mainly because it just keeps us on some sort of schedule. We get the older you get, the more the days blend together.
And we can't blame it on the pandemic because we started this before that.
Right. Yeah, we're like for a good chunk over there, like the only human interactions we have is when Colby would come by every week. Right. I'm like, It is Wednesday or it is Thursday. Oh man, but make sure you guys check out our show notes down below. It helps our Amazon affiliate links. You guys are gonna shop anyway. Check those out. Definitely,
and of course, follow our Facebook. We'll always post whenever we got new stuff coming out. Who knows if we're going to do contests and giveaways and, whatever.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, but certainly that's the easy way for you to let us know what you think and what we can change to make it better. We're 100 episodes, so I mean we can't change too much. I mean unless we reformat things. But
hey, that's what a season 2's for,
right? We love feedback. We love suggestions. And certainly, if you've made your own movie and you want us to review it, let us know.
Oh, most definitely. Maybe what we can do is because we do have a decent amount of fans on our Facebook fan page. Right. We can hold a contest there, and then we'll do it like whoever puts our word puzzle together. Mm-hmm. You get a little raffle chance to win the ultimate box collection for the month. I mean, that'd be really cool, right? But until then, thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does the theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. And it's on her album Music for Podcast 3. And her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.